Hey everybody, I hope you all are doing well and welcome back to Michael's Matters. Now, of course, as per usual, I'm Michael. Hi and hello. And today I want to go over some recent shakeups in Social Security leadership that may give us an idea of where the organization as a whole is going and how it could affect the benefits of the nearly 70 million Americans who are on Social Security Retirement, which is, of course, the largest portion, as well as Social Security Disability SSDI or Supplemental Security Income SSI, or even survivors or spousal benefits, and really all the other iterations of Social Security. Because Social Security has really, honestly, if we're going to be straightforward about this, been put through the ringer over the last couple of years since the pandemic and was in dire need of some new leadership, and hopefully they got that. Additionally, today I want to talk about a Republican senator who is beating that old drum of Social Security would be better served if it was privatized. Maybe not exactly privatized in this case, but quasi-privatized. And then finally, there is a reintroduction of a bill that is very, very popular but has yet to pass, which is the Senior Citizen Tax Elimination Act, which would stop the federal government from taxing Social Security benefits. Albeit a long shot, if it does pass, it would have a lot of really benefit for our older friends, our older neighbors, and folks on Social Security. Now, this is Michael's Matters, and before we get to it, if you like these videos, if you find them interesting, if you find them helpful, or hey, if you at least find them useful, please don't forget to like and subscribe, because it does really help the channel grow, and again, we are so thankful for that, but also because you get updates when our newest and most informative videos become available. For now, let's get down to the video. First up today, let's talk about a new guy that President Biden has appointed to run one of the largest programs in the United States. Of course, that is Social Security. The new head of the Social Security Administration is going to be the former governor of Maryland, former governor Martin O'Malley, who was the governor of Maryland since 2007 through 2015. Additionally, after his period as the governor of Maryland, he ran for president unsuccessfully in 2016. So far, many of the senior advocacy groups, as well as the unions representing the Social Security workers, have been very pleased with the nomination of former Governor O'Malley. And although there is not a lot of information about what the Governor O'Malley intends to do to make improvements to the new improved Social Security agency, honestly, he doesn't need to look too far to find some things that need to be fixed. The first and the biggest issue, as was highlighted in the most recent Social Security Trustees report, is that on the current given path of the agency, if nothing has changed, it will no longer be able to fulfill its financial obligations to Americans by as soon as 2030. Further, the report indicates that at that time, Social Security would only be able to pay out around 70 to 77% of the benefits that are due to Americans. Aside from the financial shortfalls for benefits that are affecting Social Security, there are also a litany of other issues that would need to be addressed. One is the antiquated and really truly problematic systems that the agency is using that are causing huge, long delays in phone wait times and processing of important life-saving benefits like Social Security Disability, Social Security Survivors, and Social Security Retirement. Some recent studies showed that SSDI approvals, that's disability, have dropped by a huge percentage over the last year to one of the lowest levels approval rating in recent history. Part of the reason for this is because of the antiquated system that Social Security is using, but also because of staffing problems. Post-pandemic, the agency has really struggled to maintain an adequate workforce to not only keep service times down on the phone and in the office, but also enough just to have people making sure that the agency is running on time. Now, all that being said, Governor O'Malley has had a reasonably large state to run, that's Maryland, and undoubtedly will have the experience running an organization this big, but the truth of the matter is that much of the problems that Social Security is facing right now, as well as the negotiations with the trade unions and the antiquated equipment and the understaffing and the underfunded trust fund, a lot of those are going to be problems that would need to first kind of be spearheaded by Congress and then put into the director's hand. So this might be an indicator that President Biden feels that there might be an opportunity for that to happen, and that's why he has appointed Governor O'Malley. But unfortunately, unless Congress can get their act together, which again is never a safe bet, Director O'Malley will not have much wiggle room to make improvements in Social Security. So we'll have to check out and see how that ends up going and where that ends up. But, I think we should all wish Governor O'Malley the best of luck, and no pressure, but, all of our futures basically rely on it. Now, talking about potential solutions out of Congress to the particularly messy entanglement that Social Security has gotten itself into, one senator from the Republican side, Senator Bill Cassidy, a Republican out of Louisiana, has taken to the airways to proselytize the benefits of potentially allowing for a sort of privatization of the trust fund to potentially avoid the insolvency that is facing Social Security as soon as 2033. Senator Cassidy's solution goes like this. They would find $1.5 trillion, just lying around in Congress, maybe in the seat cushions, but not from the Social Security Trust Fund. He's very specific that it's not money from the Social Security Trust Fund, but it would be invested in an investments fund and allowed to grow over the next 70 years. And the dividends from that account would be used to help supplement the Security Trust Fund's shortfalls. According to Senator Cassidy, his plan would take care of 75% of the unfunded accrued liability that the Social Security program will be facing. Additionally, Senator Cassidy does admit that, like all investments, there is a little bit of risk associated with it, but he perceives it as a small caveat. One thing that is noticeably missing from Senator Cassidy's plan is what President Biden has proposed, a payroll tax increase on anyone who's over $400,000 a year to fix the Social Security Trust Fund instead. Lastly of the day, I want to talk about a reintroduction of a bill that has a lot of excitement from anyone who is paying tax on their Social Security benefits, which is the Senior Citizens Tax Elimination Act that has been re-proposed by Congressman Thomas Massie, a Republican out of Kentucky. Now, to be fair, this has been the sixth time, and no one's going to accuse him of not being persistent, that this bill has been introduced into Congress. And with fingers crossed, maybe sixth time is a charm, but the odds are not great of getting it through a mixed Congress. What the bill would do would be to eliminate the ability of the federal government to tax Social Security benefits for people on Social Security. Contrary to what a lot of folks think, and I guess a lot of people don't meet the income guidelines, the Social Security benefits are actually taxable at the federal level if there's certain income thresholds are breached. Also, they are taxable in 12 different states who take a portion of older Americans' benefits in their tax law. In fact, for 2023, if an individual yearly income is above $25,000 a year or $32,000 a year for a couple, then a portion of their Social Security benefits do become taxable. Despite this bill's previous failures to get passed, the amendment has, at the moment, 24 sponsors, and who doesn't like a bill like this for the Senior Citizens Tax Elimination Act, or H.R. 3206. But in a divided Congress, like I said, it's probably going to be pretty hard to pass. But hopefully it does get passed, because this will help a huge amount of folks who are on Social Security benefits to get some additional cash in their pockets to help them maybe cover up some of those gaps that the COLA is not accounting for. Overall, looking at how things are going at the moment, there is a large influx of change that is taking place on the Social Security and in and around the Social Security administration. I mean, they're a new head of the agency, which, although it doesn't have a lot of power to change the problem Social Security has, at least they are there, and maybe he'll be able to fishitize, I think that's the word, to make headway with the labor issues and to fix some of the problems that have plagued the Social Security administration. Also, Senator Cassidy's plan to invest $1.5 trillion to help offset the current financial shortcomings of Social Security. I mean, it's an idea. It's definitely an idea. They're throwing them out there. It would take a lot of support and a whole heap of more details before it would ever get passed. And I would imagine if it turned out right, it could get passed, even in a divided Congress. But I can foresee a lot of Democratic senators saying, yeah, no, we're not going to even participate in this, even if it is a good idea, because it has a slight tinge of privatization of Social Security, which no Democrat in their right mind would ever want to be involved with, and put the kibosh on it pretty quickly before it ever hit the floor. Lastly, I'm all for Senior Citizens Tax Elimination Act. Nothing makes my grandma happier than paying less taxes. But of course, the one problem is that it would leave a fairly large gap in the income box of the nation. And if all those folks who are relatively high income earners on Social Security stop their tax payment, retirement, I mean, somebody else is going to have to make those payments. And I guess I would want to know who that is going to be before I put my stamp of approval on it. All right, so this has been Michael's Matters, and I really hope that you enjoyed this video. And if you did, if you found it interesting, if you found it helpful, or hey, if you at least found it useful, please don't forget to like and subscribe because it does really help the channel to grow, and we are so thankful for that. But also, you get updates when our newest and most informative videos become available. So for Michael's Matters, I'm Michael, hoping that you take care of yourselves, take care of others, and have a happy, healthy day.